Jessie is in Australia, but with the Saint and Eugene close on his heels, things are about to get sticky. And Tulip and Cass reunite, they catch up, and then debate. Temptation or do the right thing? It's Preacher, Season 4, Episode 5. Bleak City. Hey everyone, D here, and welcome to this week's review of Preacher. So yes, as always, lots of spoilers ahead. And reminder, you can always check out our quick jump index system. Right in the description below, we'll have this entire review coded out, titleized, time-coded. You can watch the end of the review first, you can watch the beginning last, you can watch this review in any order you'd like. So yes, back in the action this week. And that's definitely one thing. We have story movement going on. Lots of stuff happening. Nothing really, no wheels spinning. Well, too much outside of, Tulip doing her car stuff. Yeah, it was really a good episode. A lot of action. We had some long-awaited reunions. Well, some reunions we've waited a little while for. Some we've waited a very long time for. We get discussions about free will. We have some great comedy moments dealing with expected circumstances. Very cool moments that don't always work out the way that you want them to. So overall, I think it was a great episode. We definitely, like I said, got things moving forward. There's definitely some story developing that's happening, and we hit it in all fronts. Again, we get our long-awaited Cass and Tulip reunion, and some great debate on, do they want to do their own thing, or are they really tied to Jessie? Do they feel the need to do the right thing? And for Jessie as well, getting the opportunity with Eugene, a long-awaited reunion that honestly hits the heart chord pretty strongly, and then hits the backbone pretty strongly too. I think definitely some fleshy parts in the back. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of great moments, and of course, you get a scene of Jesus robbing a bank, so you really can't go wrong with that. So yeah, let's start things off in Australia, where of course we've got Jessie heading off to the giant penis-shaped rock with the Saint and Eugene close behind him. And really a couple of great little moments here. One, of course, is the opening bit where we get our flash tourism video of all of the sights of Australia, mixed in with some nice little rugby action, finally panned down to some gratuitous body parts. Definitely a tongue out there, and I think at least one arm along with all of the blood. This, of course, the Saint, wiping out anyone that Jessie runs into, talks to, communicates with. This is a scorched earth policy for the Saint. Definitely very focused, very driven on his goal. And Eugene with him, kind of an interesting combination. We're seeing in this a lot of what appears to be, initially at least, Eugene a little reticent about this team up. Constantly praying over these bodies that they are encountering, which is in its own way odd as he's blessing them into heaven, shot with the Saint's gun. They're like dead. They're not even like going up to heaven dead. They're like dead, gone dead. So again, it's a sweet part of Eugene, but it's odd in the way that it just feels so kindly oddly out of place. But of course, they are quick on the heels of Jessie. And the first scene we had with him, I have to say, one of my favorites of the episode. Because, yeah, it's comical. We've got the stuttering car salesman who's trying to be cute and give him little trivia tidbits and the history of Melbourne. But what was really nice here is Jessie being honest and straightforward about who he is and what's going on. When the warning sign pops up on the computer about, don't run to this guy, he is heavily wanted, Jessie was just so calm about it. I mean, and I think it's a testament to the journeys and the intensities in poor Steve, who he lost, last episode, to try and minimize the damage that his pursuit is causing. When he just says, yeah, all the stuff that you're seeing on there, and I'm a murderer, rapist, and rudder, and all this, none of that's true. But I do have a power, and I can make you do whatever I want. But I don't want to do that. Thinking I need to sort of minimize this, and minimize the damage that's being done. I mean, yes, the Saint is killing people behind him, but I don't know if Jessie is necessarily aware of that right now. He's just seen what the damage of doing the voice has done on his own journey. Both at Jesus Lasade's and of course the whole bit with Steve last week. Every time he's trying to do the right thing, it ends up going badly. So he's trying here, and I really appreciate that. And it's really just a great bit of chemistry that Dominic Cooper brings to Jessie to be able to just authentically play this off and get this guy to go, yeah, just I'm not asking you, by your own free will. Rent me a car? He doesn't want to steal a car. He still wants to rent the car, which is awesome, which works. And I did like, even though it was damaging and it assumed the guy's death, but the fact that Jessie he's appreciative. He doesn't want to make the person does something, but he still wants to try and do a right thing. So, you don't have a stutter. You don't have a stutter. I mean, that's a nice gift to give. Really. But of course, he doesn't know that the Saint is right behind him and is murdering everybody, so he doesn't know that even in that point of trying to do the right thing with the voice, he ends up causing this guy's death. Was just really sad. It was a great scene. It was very heartwarming, but a sad ending. And then from there, we get to... I bet they play out quite a few times through this episode. The cool moment that lasts a little bit longer than coolness does. And I'm talking about principally, at least the first one, Jessie going to get the car. Because that was awesome. It was cool. It's the darkness of the parking structure. We got the cool wet ground, which is reflecting the lights and making everything look awesome. We got the cool epic music that's low beat but still like driven. Dun, 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 dun. And he walks up and he gets in the car and it's the wrong seat because you're in Australia. Gotta get out. Go back to the other seat. Dun, 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 dun. All right, get in. Set myself up, get it on, let's click on the radio, get some music. Dun, 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 dun. And the pervert preacher has, okay, that's not a good sign. Let's go to the next, try another radio station, and the preacher that killed all of these, okay, let's just off with the radio. Dun, 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 dun. All right, in we go. Pull out into the parking structure. Dun, 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 going around. And then around another time. And around a third time. just again, it's getting so rote and boring. And you're trying to go with the cool music and have it off it, and it's just not happening at this point. The cool moment has left. And of course, almost hitting the truck. Again, another repeated thing that does happen with Jessie. But this leads to his encounter with Eugene, which really is an interesting arc in this episode because, of course, he hasn't seen Eugene since season 1. I think maybe you got a glimpse of him back, actually, with the bus last season. But, I mean, really, they haven't really encountered each other and dealt with those things for a long time. So it's an interesting bit to have this occur. And especially seeing Eugene's first inclination to warn Jessie off. I mean, he sees the carnage that the Saint is putting behind him. And even though he's upset with Jessie, at least at this stage, all he wants is a sincere apology. But this starts that sort of thing. Now that he's got Jessie, and then, I mean, now that Jessie has seen Eugene and scares him off and he drives off, well, he can't dismiss it anymore. He's already let Eugene stay in hell. He sent him to hell and then he left him there. Oh, he could take care of himself. I mean, if the Saint wanted him dead, he would have killed him already, right? And of course, it takes another almost run into to a truck to get him to sort of snap out of it and turn around. Again, it's a repeating thing. The truck's on the opposite side of the road than he's expecting it on, so sure, get to remember to look both ways all the time. But that sends him back to get Eugene. And that really deals with a whole wonderful sort of sequence when they do finally get together. It's a sweet moment. Again, this is another one of my favorite scenes in this episode where we have Jessie and Eugene finally connect. Jessie and Eugene's like, you just left me there. And Jessie fully apologizes. Fully, sincerely apologizes. You know, you're a good Christian, Eugene. And I don't even know what that means anymore. Chasing God and Humperdew and all of this crazy stuff. Yeah, what is faith for Jessie right now? But he knows that Eugene has been a good person, that he dedicated, that he put his trust in a preacher who sent him to hell. And it was a very sweet scene of Jessie honestly and emotionally and with his full heart apologizing to Eugene. And it was sweet. It was a great moment. Eugene just like, thanks. And then again, like another cool moment right there. All right, now we got a hot wire. Is it the blue one or the red one? Alarm! No, run! Ah! These repeated cool moments that don't work out, I love in the episode. So what? You got to beat up a cop and steal their car and get out. But at least that lets you know how the cops are searching, that there's anyone around. Have they found you? And you can always impersonate the cop that you knocked out. Well, you knocked out the saint, then killed afterwards. That everything is okay. So it was a great bit. I mean, it was one thing. It was a good, emotionally positive reunion. But this is Preacher, so you know that's not going to last. And it does make sense. Eugene in the back now debating all of this. He got what he wanted. He found Jessie. He made him apologize. He got a sincere, heartfelt apology. And damn it, it's not enough. You sent me to hell. And he shoots him in the back. I mean, you can't say that Jessie doesn't have it coming. But it does make sense. So what do we got at the end? We got Eugene now with that's what I wanted. It wasn't an apology, but you sent me to hell, and it wasn't good enough. A bullet in the head seems great. And if that bullet is coming from the Saint's gun, then that's all she wrote. Meanwhile, outside of Masada at the Holy Bar and Grail, God, I love that. We get our long-awaited reunion of Cass and Tulip, which was very sweet. Great. I mean, the great chemistry to get together. Obviously, with Jessie gone, these are the ones that they have. These are who each of them have left. Did I get that out right? So, I mean, it was a great scene. It was a wonderful catch-up. I love them telling about the stories. Oh, yeah, bus full of Nazis. Okay, yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I just had to deal with a cult leader. He could transform and stuff. You know, then I ate him. I mean, that's what you do, right? I mean, this is just a standard catch-up story between these two. And a little bit of tension, of course, with the whole, why did you tell Jessie that we had sex? I think Cass deservedly punched in the face off of that. But that doesn't split them up. They still care about each other. Yeah, maybe, well, I mean, she said she wasn't going to be mad. I think she is mad. I mean, she's not very truthful in those moments anyway. But it doesn't last. They still want to go off together. Well, they want to stay together. Just what they do becomes a matter of contention. And again, it's sort of an interesting bit of moments here because Cass is trying to do the right thing. He realizes, man, you're right. I could have gotten out of there. Jessie was being really cool. He was saving me from a guy constantly circumcising me. I mean, really, how do you say no to a friend like that? He feels bad. He now knows, man, I should be backing up my buddy Jessie. Tulip, not quite in the same mindset. And again, this is really what each of them are kind of going through. With Cass, it becomes certain debate with Tulip. And then, of course, with the Archangel, who, yeah, maybe not is the best one to get advice from. I have to agree with Cass about that. He kind of runs hot and cold with his romance thing. Certainly in this episode. He runs very hot and cold. Very hot, very loud, very banging, very damaging of beds. And then very cold, cold-blooded, throwing a sword through your date's head. But of course, it's a demon and an archangel. It's a love-hate relationship, basically, is what we have there. Very hot, very heavy, and then they have to kill each other. But because they're both an archangel and a demon, they don't die. Which leads to the whole awesome fight scene, which I'll kind of touch on in just a little bit. But for Cassidy, of course, it's really just dealing with this debate. Do I do the right thing and help Jessie out, or do I go with Tulip off to Vegas and party with her and Jesus? That really has to be an odd question for Cass to have to sort of deal with. But I appreciated him sort of really sorting this out, really kind of figuring out, because yeah, he wants to do the right thing. But it also, that involves a lot of work and effort and traveling stuff, and that interferes with drinking and drugs. So you can understand where his conflict sort of comes from. Tulip, of course, very upset with Jessie for leaving her. And, you know, a few other things. Plus, she's got Jesus. I mean, come on, how can you go wrong with Jesus around? You got an awesome car, you got Jesus, who obviously knows nothing about cars, but very excited just to be part of anything. Because, well, I mean, Jesus dealing with some things. I guess it finds out later on that he had a little bit of an affair with a married woman, and it was from that point that we eventually got into Humperdoo. And I don't think Jesus has actually meant Humperdoo. I think this is just all talking from what he's gotten. Yeah, God said that he is just pure and undriven, unsinned, you know. I mean, he's definitely, Humperdoo is definitely something different. He is untouched by lots of things. And Jesus just wants to get out. He's got this conference that he has to go to. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to deal with Dad. Doesn't accept that Dad's an asshole. But I like that Tulip keeps sort of pushing that onto him. But again, ready to go. Why? Because when you are the son of God and you've been trapped up with heaven or whatever the heck that he's been doing, sometimes you just want to get out. You want to stretch your legs. You want to be dangerous. And Tulip is definitely the one to be dangerous with. Where we got kind of our second super cool moment that, of course, ends up being not as cool as people hope. Because Tulip waits for Cass for as long as possible. Cass still hasn't decided yet what he wants to do. So yeah, can't wait forever. Boom, take off for Vegas. Spin the wheels, turn it out. Great desert drive, just blowing the, fishtail in the car, heading out away from the bar. You got the big camera shot over the desert and the drone shot, and it's moving around. You got the rock going on, bam, 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 and it's awesome, and woo, everyone's excited. But Masada's out in the middle of nowhere. It's a long drive to get to wherever you're going, so that excitement does not last. And that was just such a great bit. We get such that build-up moment, and the next shot is just Tulip like, and Jesus in the passenger seat like, I'm gonna make noises with my mouth. I was sitting here. I don't think they got a tape deck or radio reception out in the middle of nowhere. It didn't seem to be, at least. They had the rock music beforehand, but that didn't last, I guess. So anyway, which of course basically leads to a nice conversation and a nice bit between Jesus and Tulip and dealing with the whole, what do we do? Again, this is the free will discussion, which, again, kind of bounces between both her and with Cass, because Cass is, of course, asking the whole free will question, which the Archangel mentions on. Yeah, you do. You got free will. You got a choice. You can do whatever it is that you want. And Jesus sort of hits on the same bit, too. When they eventually turn around. Now, again, this is another one of those moments where it's like, don't say what you're not going to do, because the next scene, you're always going to do it. It's very cliche. We're bored, we're out here, Jesus doesn't want to do it, he's not feeling it anymore. Now, don't tell me that we're not turning around. And literally, the exact next shot is them turning around and heading back to Masada. Jesus doesn't really want to do the wrong thing. He has the vision of the robbery scene, which was awesome. They wish were sort of built more, but again, it feels a little bit more fantasy on that. But it was great. Get up against the wall or the blood is going to be spilt. But he doesn't have it in him. Not a heart. I mean, come on. The guy's going to look up and say, Jesus, I got to pee. What are you going to do? Besides accidentally shoot him in the knee. Again, he's not built up for that type of pressure. I don't even think a lookout would have worked for him. So he's going back. And that nice final moment between him and Tulip I thought was really cool. Because, you know, Tulip is still insistent upon, I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going off to Vegas. Well, it's not. It's a crap hole, as they said, which it kind of is. But the idea is, yeah, I can still do whatever I want. And Jesus had a great line here. Imagine that, Jesus saying something wise. When he said, yeah, that's right. You do have free will. You can do whatever you want. We all can. And that's what makes it so hard. It's such a simple line, but it's all very true. Yeah, we do have the right to choose. We can choose right or left, right thing, wrong thing, love or hate. We can choose. And that's what makes it hard, because we are left with the responsibility of that choice. We know that it was our free will that pushed us, that allowed us to choose whichever direction that we wanted to. So yeah, we have the freedom of choice. And that also means that we have the responsibility of consequence as well. And that's what makes it hard. And it was just a really great summed up moment right there. Because of course, that does send her back to find the Cass, who himself at this point has decided to go on and head out. And we do get our kind of last repeated cool scene, though this one was actually cool, I think, as he just gets himself all loaded up, and we got the great rock and guitar music going on in the background, and he just struts through the bar as it explodes behind him. Why? Because, again, you have an archangel and a demon fighting, and they kill each other, and then instantly return. This is a battle that never ends. And the poor barkeeper, his place is just trashed at this point. So, yeah, bummer for him, but Tulip and Cass are heading for Australia. Jessie's going to get some backup, if it's not too late. Now, of course, Starr is dealing with some personnel issues. Featherstone, at this point, having lost Cass and Tulip and their political prisoner, aka the Archangel, she's ready to die. Again, this is the second or third time that she sort of submitted herself for death. But to heck if she's going to allow Hoover 2 to shoot her. She's got a certain level of pride. Darn it, Starr, I deserve to be shot by you. And just again, it's sort of a great comic scene of Starr wanting to shoot her and constantly being interrupted by the phone. Sure, I mean, it's a big thing when you find out that, like, Jesus is gone and Humperdoo's there and Hitler, and I mean, a lot of issues going on. Starr's got a lot on his plate. But yeah, so I guess that just leaves Hoover 2 to try and kill Featherstone, but like I said, she's not having any of it. Luckily, she's got her wingsuit, her little squirrel wingsuit, constantly on. This is starting to get a little cheesy. I mean, look, I love the over-the-top bit that we have with Preacher, but I'm getting a little tired of Featherstone. And just the ninja move, jump out the window, and then fall, super wingsuit. It's just, I don't know. Whatever. She's going to come back. She'll die eventually at some point. But Starr, one of my favorite scenes, when he goes in and beats the crap out of Hitler. I mean, really, you can't go wrong with that. Starr's definitely getting bonus points at this point, because you can never go wrong beating the crap out of Hitler. Especially on a racquetball court with, and who the heck is he playing against? His grandmother? His aunt? I mean, I didn't really get a good shot on that, but that, yeah, I don't know. Hitler seems to have a spiked game there or something. I think he was putting the odds in his favor. But that was just awesome. With Starr just coming in, knocking him down, grabbing his racket, and just beating the crap out of him. I've been promised the apocalypse. You are not going to stand in my way. And then still asks him about Humperdinck. Okay, well, you've seen the Messiah, so what do you think of him? Yeah, Hitler definitely has some stuff up his sleeve. And then, of course, we get the final when Jesus does sort of finally come back. Great bit. Everyone has disdain for Hitler, as they really should. So Jesus, glad they haven't started the apocalypse without him. Definitely is not in the mood to shake Hitler's hand. I just love that. Hitler's like, I'm not going to shake your hand. But I am the great Redeemer, so I'll give you a hug. Does he do that just to keep Hitler uncomfortable? I think probably so. But yeah, so obviously this is the conference that Jesus was there to attend, overseeing the apocalypse. So maybe you should have gone to Vegas. So like I had said, there were a lot of great scenes and moments in there. We got some really emotional bits where we had Jessie in the beginning really trying to own up, trying to do the right thing, not use his voice, sees the damage that it's causing, and yet still leaves a trail of bodies behind him. We get the reunion with Eugene and that very heartfelt, honest apology. Like I said, a very emotional moment that did seem to sort of wrap things up between the two of them, at least for a second. And, of course, some very comical, fun moments. The car in the parking lot, trying to get out there. Tulip and Jesus getting a little bored on their ride away from Masada. So, yeah, a lot of very cool moments in this. And, of course, like I just mentioned, Starr beating the crap out of Hitler. Can never go wrong with that. But I know there is one scene you've been waiting for me to talk about, and that is this week's Scene of the Week! And that is the Wrecking Ball moment. It is quick, it is simple, but it is a wonderful combination of great cinematography, of just great camera work, and a beautiful, effective surprise. I rewound this a couple of times just to rewatch it. Because we have Jessie, having turned around, decided he's got to go back and save Eugene. He can't leave him with the Saint. And I was wondering, what was he thinking about going to a construction site? What does he have planned? And they just do it in such a simple, consistent way. And I have mentioned many times how much I love long shots. A single camera works unedited. And yeah, there were some bits here, but it was shot this way. And that's, to me, all that you really need. Where we just get that beautiful camera shot as the Saint and Eugene enter the construction site, and it just moves and pans, and we're seeing them through the slats as Eugene's in front, and then the Saint kind of catches up, and then we move up to the one single shot through the chain linked window right there as the Saint just walks in front. And what is it, like 1-2 second beat? And just the wrecking ball filling the super fast, just filling the screen right in front of them and slamming right through the gate that's right in front of us. It was beautiful. It was effective. It was shocking. And it was really simply done. And then, of course, we pan back as Jessie grabs Eugene and they both escape, and then down to the hat, which, of course, isn't going to be that long until the Saint gets up, because yeah, you can stop him for a moment with a wrecking ball, but you're not going to, stop him. You're not killing him. Not the Saint. But again, it was great to have Jessie rescue Eugene, and it was just a wonderfully, simply done moment with a single tracking shot of just seeing them come through, setting them up in front of the screen there, and then bowling them right through it. All right, just a couple of small things. First off, I would be highly remiss and a very poor fan if I did not mention, through Cass's debate about going after Jessie, his Star Wars reference, which was just awesome. Yeah, just like Han Solo. Luke's my friend, so I don't give a shit about the cache of rebel gold. I'm going back and blowing up that Death Star. I mean, okay, the metaphor's maybe not exactly the same, and I think he still kept a big pile of rebel cash. But, I mean, come on. He gets a Star Wars reference, which, of course, the bartender completely not to understand. Moving pictures is a sin in Allah's sight. So, okay, fair enough. More movies for the rest of us, I guess. I really loved seeing Jesus playing asteroids in the bar while Tulip and Cass are catching up. It's a simple thing, but, I mean, how often as Jesus do you get to play a nice classic video game? And also an interesting moment between him and the Archangel, who I bet neither was expecting to run into the other in a bar. And there seems to be some history or something going on right there. There was definitely some side-eye thrown at either one of them. Not enough to say anything or keep it, but it's just sort of an interesting little moment. Oh, and also with Jesus, the whole water to wine thing. I love that when Tulip's like, don't you have something to do? Walk on water and turn that water into wine? That was really mostly a metaphor thing. Just, you know, again, good bits of information to know. I like Jesus. I enjoy him in this show. All right, well, I think that's going to go ahead and wrap things up for tonight. So next week, a little bit more action going on. Jessie's at the will of the Saint, but the Saint doesn't seem to be so much as in a killing mood. Well, at least not so much for Jessie. Looks like the Saint might have some bigger sights set. So I'm really curious how that's going to play out. Plus, of course, we have Cass and Tulip heading down to Australia to back him up, to back Jessie up. Are they going to get there in time? Are they going to be running into their own bits of adventures? And, of course, that wiry Featherstone. You know, she's going to be popping up pretty soon. Anyway, can't wait to see how that's going to play out. But that will, as I said, wrap us up for now. Thank you, as always, for joining me with these reviews. And as always, if you'd like to hit that like button, please go ahead. Share this video with your friends. And you know, of course, please leave your comments in the section below. What did you guys think about this episode? Did you like Eugene's kind of turnaround there? Did it make sense for you? Or do you feel like he's just sort of being played with? And also the whole Cass and Tulip free will debate. And were you mad that Jesus didn't go to Sin City? Let me know. Throw your thoughts down in the section below in the comments section. You can always catch me on Twitter and Instagram. I am at Darren Jakes. Please subscribe, quick and easy. We've got another 5 episodes of this show, plus The Walking Dead starting up, and D3 has dropped a ton of shows coming forward. This is going to be like D's reviews. This is going to be D's Disney Plus reviews, I think, going forward. Mandalorian, November 12th. Don't miss any of those reviews that are coming up. You want to be a subscriber, do that by clicking this button right here. And we'll throw up a couple of our latest reviews right here for you to check out. So, that's going to be it for me. I'm D, and I'm out of here. Catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.